In this video, we will look at the select and the from clause in SQL and use them to create our first SQL statement. These two clauses are used very heavily together and are used to select and show data. The general SQL query is select column 1, column 2 from table name. In plain English, we're asking the SQL engine to go to the table and show us records and the columns as specified. In this case, it will be all the records in that table with column names column 1 and column 2. So, open up pgadmin and enter your password and click on Servers. Then, click on the server that we installed, which is PostgreSQL 14. We then right-click on the DVD rental database and click on Query Tool. A new window opens up, and here we can type in all our SQL query statements. Notice that this window is connected to the database DVD rental as shown by the title DVD rental/Postgres at PostgreSQL 14. This says that we are connected to the DVD rental database as the user Postgres on the server PostgreSQL 14. In the window, let's type select from actor . Then we click on the Execute Refresh button in the ribbon strip or the function button F5. Just remember that in some laptops you might have to press both the function key and F5 simultaneously to run the query. We get a small pop-up message saying that the query has been run successfully and that 200 rows were affected. Here, affected just means that we read 200 rows. Don't worry, we didn't change anything. We see the result of the query, which looks like a table with a few columns in the Data Output tab. The columns are named actor_ID, first_name, last_name, and last_update. This is the actor table inside the DVD rental database, and we see that there are 200 rows or entries in this table. We can scroll down and see all the rows. The result of this query is called the result set and is basically a table. So, when we say select from actor, we are asking the SQL engine to show us all the columns of the table named actor. Select just means select all the columns. We see all the rows in the table. Later, we will see how we can impose more restrictive conditions and show fewer rows. You might have noticed that I used capital case letters for select and from, while the table name was small letters. This is just for readability purposes, and by convention, SQL keywords are all capitalized while user-derived objects are all in small case.
SQL by itself is not case-sensitive. We can also leave extra spaces and lines between keywords and user object names, and SQL will ignore them. By convention, we usually write the select clause in a single line and the from clause in a separate line. SQL queries can get a bit long and complex, and it is always a good idea to use a well-formatted query to make life easier for the next person who reads it, which could be you. We also terminated the SQL query with a semicolon. Strictly speaking, this is not necessary in pgadmin, since we have single statements, but later when we issue multiple SQL queries, we will need a semicolon to separate them. OK, now that we know that our actor table contains 4 columns, let's see how we can select only some columns and not others. Select first_name, last_name from actor . Here we are specifying a list of column names separated by commas to be shown in the output. We see that we get back a table with the first column as first_name and the second column as last underscore name, and all 200 rows. This SQL query basically reads, give me all the rows from the table actor, but only the columns first underscore name and last underscore name in that order. Note that we can easily reverse the order of the columns with this statement. Select last underscore name, first underscore name from actor semicolon. We are just asking Postgres to order the columns in a specific way. This in no way affects the underlying data. We can also use the table name .column name format. This becomes useful when we are querying multiple tables in a single query. Select actor.firstname, actor.lastname from actor. Before we move on, I want to emphasize that the from statement is evaluated by the SQL engine before the select, even though we write the select first. In fact, the select clause is one of the last to be executed. In these small examples, this is of no consequence, but it actually becomes important later when we have much more complex queries. Just keep in mind that whatever comes after the from is evaluated by SQL before the select. So you should really read the statement as from the actor table. Give me the columns first name and last name.
So, to recap, we use the select keyword to select columns from a table. SQL is case insensitive, but we fully capitalize SQL keywords and keep user tables, columns, etc. in small letters for readability. SQL does not care about extra white space like extra spaces, tabs, and multiple lines. Use white space judiciously to improve readability. In case we have multiple SQL queries, they must be separated by a semicolon. Columns are returned in the order they are asked for. The from portion of the SQL query is executed before the select. OK, let's move on to the next video.